Hey there, welcome back to Life Fact. Do you find yourself struggling to make decisions? Don't worry, you're not alone. Here's the thing though, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're indecisive. You might just be a thoughtful person who wants to carefully consider their options before making a move. In this video, we'll show you the best ways to distinguish between being thoughtfully decisive and being held back by indecisiveness. So, let's get started. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Life Fact videos. You're not the type to follow trends. You're no sheep. You're not easily swayed by trends, which is one of the best indicators that you're not indecisive, but you're actually thoughtful. You're not the type to blindly follow the crowd because you're too busy doing what you enjoy. When it comes to clothing, food, or movies, you're not afraid to take a step back and consider what truly appeals to you. Sure, you might enjoy something popular, but you won't pretend to like it just because everyone else does. You're authentic, not a copycat. So, don't worry if you're not up on the latest craze. You're not indecisive, you're just deliberate about what you choose to embrace, and that's something to be proud of. Opinions don't easily sway you. When it comes to decision making, you're a force to be reckoned with. You never make rash decisions just to please others, nor do you follow someone else's lead blindly. You accept responsibility for your decisions and never delegate that responsibility to others. Your decisions are yours and yours alone, and you don't allow other people's opinions or strong beliefs to influence what you ultimately decide. You like to weigh the pros and cons. Being a thoughtful decision maker is a superpower, and one of the telltale signs is that you don't jump into things head first. You don't just accept a job because it pays well. You also consider the company culture and work-life balance. You don't just jump into a relationship. You think about whether the person you're with shares your values and long-term goals. You don't just buy any old car, you carefully research which model and year will be reliable and meet your needs. You don't book a vacation on a whim. You consider what kinds of experiences you want and where you'll get the best value for your money. And when faced with a challenge, you don't give up or take drastic measures right away. Instead, you take the time to consider all options and make an informed decision. It's not that you can't make quick decisions, rather, you take the time to weigh the pros and cons and make the best decision for you. You always consider the best case or worst case scenario. Imagining the best and worst outcomes of any given choice is one of the helpful tricks that thoughtful people employ. Sure, things can turn out better or worse than we expect, but this exercise can provide us with a range of possibilities to prepare for. For example, if you decide to run away with your high school sweetheart, the best case scenario is that you'll have a magical, intimate wedding experience that you'll remember for the rest of your life. The worst case scenario is that you'll regret it later and wish you had a more traditional wedding with friends and family. If you decide to put your money into a new business, the best case scenario is that it becomes a huge success and you make a fortune, while the worst case scenario is it fails and you lose everything. By considering the best and worst case scenarios, you can make a more informed decision and feel better prepared for whatever comes your way. So what are your best and worst case scenarios for your next decision? You're not one to easily fall into traps. Okay, so picture this. You're at a carnival and there's a flashy new ride that everyone's talking about. It has all the bells and whistles, it's gleaming, and is the talk of the town. But you, my friend, are no fool. You know better than to go on a ride that could end up being a total flop. You're not unsure, you're just thinking. You're the type of person who doesn't fall for the latest hype or trendy craze without first conducting research. You're the one who has to wait to see if the ride is worth it, if that diet really works, and if the vaccine is safe in the long run. You're not avoiding decisions, you're just avoiding mistakes. Because at the end of the day, you know that making a decision based on logic and reason is always the best option. Your decisions align with your goals. Another sign that you're not indecisive, but rather a master of careful choices, is that you ensure that your decisions are in line with your long-term goals. Assume you want to be a professional tennis player and have several options for where to live. You don't just choose the swankiest, most luxurious neighborhood to live in. No, you pick the location with the best tennis academy and the coach you know will help you crush it on the court. These decisions aren't easy, and they may ruffle some feathers, but they aren't made at random. They're based on your core values and the goals that you want to achieve. So congratulations, you're a wise decision maker. You're not one to second guess yourself. Have you ever met someone who seemed to have all the answers before discovering that their snap judgments were incorrect? They might have relocated, gotten married, or accepted a job based on instinct only to find out that it wasn't the right fit after all. It's unfortunate to see, but it shows that carefully considering your options is essential. Consider this: you wouldn't purchase a car without doing your homework, would you? The same holds true for choices in life. Making sure you're not rushing into anything that'll hold you back will prevent you from having to be wishy-washy or overthinking everything. We promise that you'll thank yourself later for it. But you do reflect in order to improve. Even the most steadfast individuals consider the possibility of different outcomes. It's just human nature. However, this isn't merely a thought exercise or a sentimental reminiscence. It actually serves a greater purpose. We can refine our method for making decisions by thinking back on the elements that affected our decision-making process, whether they were the options put forth, our objectives, or our values. On the other hand, it helps us understand that some things are simply beyond our control and just can't be predicted. This teaches us to value the element of surprise as well as to embrace and accept the unknown. You share your decisive tendencies with others. Listen up, because this is a sign of pure decision-making power. When people come to you for advice on their own decisions, that's when you know you're not indecisive. That's right, you're known for making sound, deliberate decisions based on logic and reason. Your friends and family trust your judgment because they know you won't lead them astray. Your ability to weigh options carefully is a superpower, and others admire and value your ability to make sound decisions. So go ahead and take your time thinking things through, because in the end, your deliberate approach will lead to success. And lastly, you sometimes think about what could have been. Let's face it, we've all played the what if game at some point in our lives. Robert Frost even gave it a fancy name, the road not traveled. But don't be concerned, you're not alone. We all think about it, but not everyone obsesses over it. When faced with a decision, we take our time to weigh our options, not because we're afraid to make a choice, but because we want to make the best one. Even attempting to avoid making choices is a choice in itself. We will all have to make a decision sooner or later. But here's the thing, if the road less traveled piques your interest and intrigue while leaving you with no regrets or bitterness, you're not indecisive, you're just thoughtful. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to leave a comment down below on what kind of videos you'd like to see next, and remember to click the like button and subscribe before you go. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.